I think definitely your body will let you know. And I think, for instance, in my situation, my body definitely told me, like, Priest, if you don't get up off this ground and not come back out here, you may not be able to get up. So that
Wow,
was one of the smart decisions I made.
man.
Mm.
Scary thoughts for sure.
JD, I want
Mhm.
to talk to you about your role specifically as a tight end, but a particular type of tight end, right? You were a
Okay.
blocking tight end. Big difference between the Tony Gonzalez's of the world, right? So
Yeah.
talk about that tight end room when you were in Kansas City, but also your role. And do you have a couple favorite pancakes you made? I know we talked meat hooks,
Oh, yeah,
but do you have a
yeah.
couple favorite
Oh,
pancakes
man.
you made over the years?
Well, I tell you what, man, I did a lot of it. I try to have pancakes every Sunday if I could. That's the way it worked. Uh, but for me, I basically kind of, you know, I went carved out this niche in a way. And so we had Gonzalez. I knew Gonzalez was going to be the one catching more footballs than anything else. He was the one that was, his name was and number was called in pass plays. And usually that was my role when I was in Philadelphia. I was a guy. I started when I was in Philly, and then coming out to Kansas City, we had this symbiotic relationship where we ran the two tight end sets. And now I think we kind of, made that popular, to be honest with you. I think everybody started copying what we did out in Kansas City because he's seen our success. And so what they would do, I started seeing different teams starting to have kind of your pass catching tight end, and then you had your bruiser that was doing all the heavy lifting. And so we just had this man, this great rapport just in our tight end room with me, Gonzalez, Billy Baber, Chris Wilson, K Dub. I mean, we had guys that understood their role in the offense that we did, and my job was to open up the lanes and block for Priest and Larry and Blaylock, but also to protect uh, Trent. I did a lot of pass protection as well, and so when I get out there and I start talking a little bit on film and stuff, I did a lot of that. Matter of fact, we would go down, Priest. I don't know if you remember, you know how we used to go through team and we have individuals and stuff. And so sometimes on 7, they would send me down there to the lineman and go do one-on-ones in halfway during that period. And so I'm just like, okay, I get it. I understand. But I like to get thrown a bone every once in a while now.
That's
I
right.
can't just be out here blocking and not get a
Yeah.
bone. So I caught a few
Yeah.
touchdowns. I caught a few balls in my time there, and that's one thing I just appreciated, man. I appreciated that you know those guys in the locker room appreciated me, and so that's what I got. I got, just kind of like that, the congratulations and stuff, man. I got Priest jersey up here on the wall, man, because he gave it to me, he gifted it to me, being included for helping him, get those touchdowns. And I appreciate that, Priest, of you just thinking about me and the tight ends doing that job. So, but I took very a lot of pride in it because, like I said, man, I wanted my guys and everybody on that team to be successful.
So, was there one pancake that jumps to mind? One in
I,
particular? You don't have to name maybe you should name names, I don't know. But is there one you were just like, "Yeah, that felt good. That felt real good."
you know what? Pancake wise, so I actually got into a little tussle. Okay. And it was against the Houston Texans. And so the defensive end, we were blocking, or I was blocking. And after the play was over, he just jams like just a straight bam, like clearly after the whistle, right? And of course, the guy that strikes next is going to get the flag. That's how it always works.
Right.
And so I remember I told my coach, I got to the sideline, I said, look, I'm about to get a penalty. And he was like, huh? I said, yeah, that joker just punched me in my face. He said, man, JD, do what you do. I said, all right, I got it. And so, uh, very next play, I think we made it down to to the red zone. And so I didn't get to get him then. He went in the play. So he comes back out. I get out there and I'm like, okay, this is the time I'm gonna get him. Penalty, play wasn't going. I'm like, dad God. So I'm hoping that, we still playing running deuce or ace or one of those with two tight ends again. Same thing. Well, somebody jumps outside, but I got this joker right by his neck, and I take him from the right side of the offense to the left side. I take it from one tight end set to all the other side, and I'm running him all the way through. So he's on his back, and while I'm doing it, I'm clearing out the defensive line, the linebackers. Everybody's like, "Man, what's going on?" And I guess they see his boy on his back getting cleared out, all the way across the field. And so I'm over yelling at him, like, "Man, don't you ever put your hands on me again!" Right? While I'm choking him to death. Okay, I hope my kids ain't mind, but I'm choking. And so while I'm grabbing him, I'm choking him. I feel the linebackers look like they're trying to pull my helmet off. I got one hand on my helmet, okay, my face mask trying to keep my helmet on, and my other hand right here around that guy's neck, okay? And I'm sitting over here, and they got my legs up in the air, and some guys trying to hit me in my family jewels at the time, okay?
Oh, wow.
Got my legs in the air, hit me in my family jewels, trying to pull my helmet off, and all I'm thinking is, don't get your helmet off, because you get the helmet off, they're gonna start kicking me. That's all I think. And so they finally got my helmet off, but I just cover up. Well, Priest, you know me, okay? I'm looking at, where's the cavalry?
That's
Okay.
right.
I'm over here in this big old pile. Where's the cavalry? I know B-Dub is coming. B-Dub gonna come here in a second. So I think Chris Bober, B-Dub came in, started housing a couple people. Well, the one guy I didn't see, okay? The one guy I didn't see was 088.
Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah, old curly curl pretty boy. I ain't seen him. And I'm sitting there waiting, I'm like, hey. So I get up and I'm coming back. And now by this time, I got my helmet off. My dreads is all over the place. I had dreads and stuff. So my dreads are swinging all over the place. I'm looking all crazy. And so Tony comes over and says, "Man, you okay?" I'm like, "Man, I don't ask me if I'm okay. I'm over fighting for my life out here. What are you talking about? Where was you at? Ask me if I'm okay. You supposed to be up there fighting with me, JD. I didn't see you. Didn't see it? How did I see that? So, we don't have a good laugh on that, man. But yeah, that was one, I say, pancake wise, that I do remember, because I like to say, man, like I said, I took pride in what I did. So it wasn't necessarily any type of particular blocks. I know always fourth and go, Priest, anytime that was on our backs. Priest, I don't know if you ever remember this, but we used to come out of the huddle, and I used to tell you, "Priest, run this way, run
That's
behind
right.
me."
That's right.
And Priest was like, "I'm coming your way, JD."
Yeah, there was one thing I loved about it is that, we talked about getting some of that get back, like when a defender would take a cheap shot on me.
Yeah.
There was
sir.
two individuals, of course, that were my teammates that I knew. If I didn't get the get back, they would take care of it. And that would be
Love
Brian Waters, right? My left guard, and then Jason Dunn. Jason Dunn definitely got a whole lot of get back, because guys would take those cheap shots on me. And all I had to do is look at JD, call a number, and JD would take care of them. And especially if JD saw somebody doing something towards me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'd be like, "Priest, I got you. Don't worry about it."
Ugh, love that.
Call the number out. Call the number out. I got him.
That's right.
Breaking news from Bet365. New customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Sign up, place a bet for $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, player props, futures, and so much more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Hey, do you have a gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER in Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. Or 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 21 plus only, 18 plus in Kentucky. Please gamble responsibly. Must be present in Arizona, Colorado, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, and select parishes in Louisiana, Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. $10 minimum deposit required. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
This has been a Playmaker production.